Good morning, everyone. Could I ask the attendees to introduce themselves, and then we will introduce ourselves. You are?
I'm Bill Green. I'm the club secretary.
I'm Karen Cook, and I used to be the club secretary, and we've been going there for 60 odd years.
I'm Mark Arford, I'm the club president.
I'm Louise Hudson and I'm the stewardess.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm Jordan Barrett. I'm a licensing officer for Kirklees Council.
Good morning, Mike Skelton, senior licensing officer.
And my colleagues at the side of me.
Tahir Hanif, legal advisor to the panel.
Councillor Donna Bellamy, Home Valley North.
And Councillor Ali Arshad.
Important person here apart from Jenny.
Laura Murphy, I'm the democracy officer.
I did make a site visit with Jordan the other day to get a grasp of what we're talking about. It's always very useful. We've done 1 and 2. Minutes of the previous meeting. Can we accept those as a record? Yeah. Thank you. Declaration of interest. Are there any?
None, Chair.
None. Admission of the public. Queuing up to come in. Yeah. The none. Item 6, deputations and petitions.
None received, Chair.
Item 7, public question time.
None received, Chair.
So we go to item 8. Licensing Acts 2003, application for a full variation of club premises certificate for Drub Working Men's Club, 104 Drub Lane, Cleckheaton, BD 19, 4BU. Jordan, could you outline the application, please?
Thank you, Chair. So on the 19th of September 2025, the Licensing Department received an application for the full variation of a club premise certificate for Drub Lane Working Men's Club, 104 Drub Lane, Cleckheaton, BD 19, 4BU. A copy of this application and plan is shown at Appendix A. The current club premise certificate authorises the supply of alcohol between the following days and times. So Monday 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m, Tuesday 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m, Thursday 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m, Friday and Saturday 8 p.m. till midnight, Sunday 12 noon till 2 p.m, and then 8 p.m. till 11 p.m. There are several non-standard timings which can be viewed on the certificate, and these are to remain the same. On the current certificate, there are several now obsolete licensable activities. With the exception of regulated entertainment, these activities will not transfer to the new licence, should the variation be granted. This is due to the creation of the Live Music Act 2015, which resulted in the regulated entertainment being deregulated. So the applicant seeks to amend the supply of alcohol timings on Saturday and Sunday to the following. So Saturday is 12 noon till midnight, Sunday is 12 noon till 11 p.m. A copy of the current premise certificate, club premise certificate, which includes all licensable activities, can be seen at Appendix B. During the consultation period, a total of 5 representations were received from members of the public. A copy of the representations can be seen at Appendix C. The application was sent to responsible authorities to which no objections have been received. Over recent months, the club has been granted several temporary event notices, which tends to extend their licensed hours to fill the gaps applied for on this variation. The tends took place on the 10th of August, the 16th of August and the 11th of October. The licensing service does not have any recorded complaints on file regarding these tends. So when determining the application, members having regard to representations may take such steps as they consider appropriate for the promotion of the licensable objectives. These are grant the full variation application, grant the full variation application with appropriate conditions, exclude from the scope of the licence any of the licensable activities which relate to this application or reject the full variation application. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Jordan. Are there any questions for Jordan? No, Chair. Could I ask, through you, Jordan, are there no objections from the police at sea? Have there been any contact at all?
No, none received. No objections received.
And perhaps this is not a question for you, but maybe left for the applicants. Do you know how long the club has actually existed or been open on this site?
I'm not 100% sure, but they've had a licence since pre-2005.
Right, I'm sure the applicants will know. I'll ask those later. So, this is your opportunity to questions directed to the licensing officer.
I mean, the club's been in existence, as far as I've known, since the 1960s.
No, 100.
It's 100, yeah. Well, I've known it.
110 years.
110 years.
You want to be secretary for 110 years.
A bit before my time.
My grandfather's actually one of the signatories on the conveyance of the club. Because I was born there, so.
Right, so it's 110 years old.
Yeah.
Drug Lane Working Men's Club.
I knew 60 because we've got news articles from the local paper and press about a few members rallying round to save the club from closure in the early 1970s. You know what I mean? We have them in the hallway, you know what I mean? So I know it's been going at least 50, 60 years.
Well, we know now it's 110 years. But
we had a centenary. We've got a picture up of it, before we checked out because we're in the Friendly Society and when it was first registered and it was early 19... I can't remember the exact date. It's been there a long time.
a long time. Could you outline your reasons for your application, please?
Right. The club lifeblood now is sort of functions. Like we've just mentioned, we have a licence for Monday and Tuesday. We don't tend to open on a Sunday night too much. It's the Thursday, the Friday and the Saturday. But when we get applications for dues, christenings, baby showers or whatever, a lot of them want to start around lunchtime, you know what I mean, and go through until whatever time. And we have to always tell them in the booking, you can have the function, but you can't come in until 8 o'clock at night. You know what I mean?
Hence the variations that Jordan outlined.
Like I say, we're not wanting to go into 2 and 3 o'clocks in the morning or out like that. We just want them few hours on a Saturday afternoon and a Sunday afternoon that we can just continue through and possibly have a function.
Right. Are there any questions to the applicant?
Yeah, just one real question from me, because I don't like things closing, as in closing down. Would there be a serious risk of the club having to close somewhere in the near future if it wasn't given such a license?
Possibly. There was a couple of years ago, when I think the membership has gone and we weren't having as many functions. And then now, that's what I've concentrated on since I took over from Caroline 3 years ago. And we've managed to get the bookings to a nice, comfortable. So we were running at a severe loss up until about 3 years ago. But COVID sort of interrupted that as well, you know what I mean? But in recent years, and we're nearly back in profit now. We've had a couple of successful years now, so and we just want to extend that.
Okay, that's the only question I have, Chair.
So there has been some objections. There's no objections present. So I'll leave those objections out.
That's fine.
The names and addresses are being the first objection is about residential areas of the hours, excess traffic, noise nuisance, and driving. The second objection is
Well, right. We've never had any complaints. We've never had the police visit the site. We have 5 members that are barred from the club. And it just seems to materialise that we've got 5 objections. The main objector is...
Could you just respond to the first objection? As it's read out?
Right.
Rather than,
Yeah.
You can summarise.
Okay, that's fine. So, first one was?
The first objector, she says that, she said the police said, residential area for suitable hours, excess traffic, the noise nuisance, all will be generated actually.
Well, on the first thing, quite a lot of the members, some of them, like Caroline, and some of our main members, or whatever, all live within 30, 40 yards of the club. And they still come to the club. They've never complained about.
Okay.
And some of them members have been members for 40, 50 years.
Objection 2. Reasons against longer licensing. First, it's a residential area. We are hearing swearing and loud music in the garden until 6 in the evening on a Sunday. We go, now we go out all day so we don't have to hear it. We have called the police twice on the weekends. We asked them to leave, all we got was abuse. Cars parked all over the road. Taxis late at night sounding their horns because they can't get to get parked. Reversing onto the main road, which is dangerous. There is a safety issue there. A voluntary lady comes up to her basically, broken bottles, etc. As the club steward doesn't bother. Safety gate, they will close at night to the hazy. The club is now only frequented by the majority of residents, by the minority of residents. You are safe with that means.
Right, most of that is fabrication. Like I said, there's no lady that comes and collects glasses or whatever. You know what I mean? For reversing, everybody can turn around in the car park. It's big enough to turn around and think. I haven't seen anybody reverse out. Exactly. It's on a bend. It's on a blind bend.
The lady what said, but have to go out on a Sunday. I've gone out every Sunday for I don't know how many years. They're never in on a Sunday. And at any point in the 10 cars max, the road through the village is a rat run for everybody and anybody at all times of day. There's about 10 cars comes to Drup Club on a Sunday. So it doesn't go to increase. They ain't going to increase anymore by leaving the open the extra because it's the same people, an odd few what come, whether it shuts at 2, 3 or 4. It ain't going to generate any more apart from if there's a function.
Well, we know exactly. No.
Nobody gets taxis.
The odd occasion they come, they just pull up at the gate, they're not the club, you know what I mean? And people just walk out. As for the gate, it's the club's gate. And we had a committee meeting regarding it. The woman in question who made that complaint, I know, yeah. She's the only one that's ever mentioned the gate, so she's mentioned it. Now, it's the club car park. She has, because a little story, she lives on the corner. You probably saw the house. And then inside the club car park, there's a derelict building that we sold as a club to that woman. Now, she has walkable access to the front of that property, but she parks her car there, and her husband parks his pickup in our car park, and it's the club's car park. We own it. She only has, and she's blocking an access as well. So she's complaining now and causing trouble, and we're going to have to inform her now that she doesn't have right to park in that car park. That's another legal, technical problem. Civil, yeah. Yeah, I'm just giving the background to why this gate's not getting closed. So we had a committee meeting. Now, Louise, who's the steward, would have to drive out the car park, try and find somewhere to park on that bend to stop, to shut the gate, and then get back in her car. And obviously this is at midnight, 12:30 at night. And then people might get the impression she's coming out with takings. So while she's closing that door, she could be mugged. So we had a committee meeting and we said, no, it's fine, we don't need the gate shut, and it's not a problem to us as a club. Everybody on the committee voted she didn't have to close the gate. She could just pull away out the car park and go home.
We haven't had that gate all the time. The club's been there, obviously. I think 20 years max, if that gate's been there, and the club put it up.
The next objection, I'm contacting you about the application for the increase in the operating hours of the club. I appreciate the club will want to increase its hours, so it's able to offer people the opportunity to have special occasions and other organised events to be held there. However, as a resident, it concerns me about the increased traffic, which is persons and the noise level this will bring. I bought the property in a quiet village for the purpose of just that. On the close late night openings, we have already experienced high noise levels at closing time. This is highly likely to increase if more people are in attendance at the club and for longer hours. This does have an impact on our family. When events are organised by the club, there are also cars parked in the area, and with an increase in opening times, this is highly likely to attract more people from having their events hosted at the club. This has an impact on parking spaces and also the safety of the children who visit the lower park we have available across the road from the club and our house. For this reason, my family oppose and I oppose the application for the club to increase its hours.
There's never any major issue with parking. I've been going in that club for 10 years now, you know what I mean? And I'm there most days and nights when it's open, and never ever had a problem with parking. The people that come, we've got quite a big car park, as you've seen, and most people can park in the car park. And a lot of people don't bring cars if it's a function. Huh?
I'm writing to object to the application to the above club to extend its opening hours. My objection is based on the following licensing objectives. 1. Prevention of public nuisance. Extending the club's opening hours will inevitably increase noise levels in the daytime and late into the night, disturbing residents' peace and quiet. This is particularly concerning to the amount of elderly people living nearby. Increased vehicle movements during the later hours will cause disturbance through engine noise, car doors and general coming and goings. 2. Prevention of disorder and public safety. Longer opening hours will increase the risk of antisocial behaviour and disturbance, putting further pressure on the community. Increased on-street parking and traffic congestion will raise safety concerns, particularly for the pedestrians and local children's park. Facilities, and the local children's park facilities directly opposite the club. Plus the club has very limited car parking spaces due to it being shared with an adjoining house, which you've already illustrated. Plus the car park entrance exit has very limited vision upon leaving the club, causing on-road parking. In my view, the extension of hours is not compatible with the residential nature of the area and risk undermining the safety and well-being and quality of life for local people. For these reasons, I respectfully request the application is refused. And the objector goes on to say, I am aware of the situation and very concerned as we experience these problems already with the current opening hours.
They keep going on about extending opening hours. Our opening hours are reduced. We don't open on a Monday. We don't open on a Tuesday, which we could do. We could have a late night on a Sunday. In fact, we don't do. We shut at tea time, or we would do. I mean, we're not extending the hours. We're wanting 2 afternoons as an infill, so we could have a function on that day. You know what I mean? For a wedding party or whatever it happens to be. Thing. Now, we're coming up on Saturday. It's our bonfire night for the club. There'll be 60, 70 people there. You know what I mean? And they've no objections. Everybody walks down the village and goes in and watches it, and everybody loves it. And their main essence of their complaints is longer opening hours, there'll be more parking, there'll be more. It won't be. It's exactly the same.
Those times.
Well, like I say, we don't open Monday, Tuesday. We're only open Thursday evening, Friday evening, which is exactly the same now under the new licensing we've applied for. It's just being able to open from 12 o'clock on a Saturday and continue into our afternoon licensing. So, and same for Sunday.
The objection 5. I'm writing this with regards to the new proposed licensing hours for Drub Club. The opening hours have always been a mystery. We are happy to have a club in the village and feel it's a good asset for the villagers, but not with increased hours as proposed. We realise there needs to be strict licensing hours, but we feel the new hours proposed are too long. These hours would increase the traffic in and out of the club car park and parking on the already busy fast lane, causing a safety issue for both pedestrians and residents. Increased taxi noise late into the night, as this is already an issue. Also, incidents of disorder could increase due to the longer drinking hours, as this has already been an issue. People talking, shouting and swearing in the car park is likely to increase later into the night. This is already apparent. To our knowledge, not many Drub residents visit the club. We feel that the new hours would increase the club being used more for private parties, which at the moment don't seem to have an end time. These people often loiter waiting for taxis, lifts, well after the club has closed. There is already no respect for the neighbouring houses, for example, taxi horns, loud drunken conversations. I hope you take the above points into consideration.
So there again, he opens up with saying, I think he wants the village to have a club, and and it's the same. He's going on about extended hours. We are extending out. We could extend by opening Monday. We could extend by opening Tuesday, which we have a licence for. And we could go Sunday nights into the night. We don't. We stop it. You know what I mean?
We could afford to keep up, that's why we reduce the hours, because with the electric people
and the wages.
Keep it going, that's why it's closed then. But we still have those hours, which we could utilise if we wanted to.
So it's 2 afternoons again. They seem to be stipulating that, it's going to be 2, 3 o'clock in the morning while parties or something, which is total fabrication. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Because the next line on my list is the applicant is given an opportunity to respond to any points raised by the objectors, and I think you've done that as we've been reading out their objection letters. Members, have you any?
A couple of questions.
Right, please. Councillor Ballard.
No, thank you, Chair. How many spaces actually is there in the car park? Does anybody know?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's more than that. You can get 6 cars at the front of the car park. There's all down that side. There's about 8 or 9 you can get in there. There's the back fence. There's about 4 there, and then we could at least 20, 25 cars go in that car park.
Right, thank you for that. And the other question I had, which relates to sort of noise outside, do you actually have a smoking area?
It's in the beer garden, because we have a beer garden attached, and we've got a purpose-built smoking area at the back. So it's if you face the club, it's in the beer garden to the back fence.
Right.
That corner.
So is that fence sort of fenced in?
It's still two of the members own that land that's behind the club.
Right. Thank you.
Question, which I kind of know the answer to already. In recent years, Drub Lane, have you seen an increase in traffic go through the village as it is?
No,
Anyway, people using it as a thoroughbare.
It is
For a connecting route.
not for the club, but for
Not for the club, but generally speaking.
It depends at busy not for the club. It's because we're just off the chain bar.
Yeah, sorry.
606.
Not for the club, yeah.
Exactly. They use it if it's rush hour at tea time, and they want the queuing to get up to the junction at Birkinshaw. They might run through the club,
Yeah.
through the main village. But
yeah,
it's not
that's
to do
right.
with us. That, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, so this is not a reflection upon you. It's something I'm guessing already that the local community would have had to get used to the increased flow of traffic with people using that as a connecting route anyway. Thank you.
Most times of the day, it's the quiet lane. Is that? You know what I mean?
And I've just got one question. It mentions in one of the objection letters that local people don't use it. Are your members all local or most of them?
Most of the members, a good 50-60% of them live in the village.
Right.
Like I say, Caroline's
we're
been...
elderly.
Huh?
And most of them are elderly like myself.
Right.
They're all over 60, 70, there's a few come in, they're
Oh, my.
80, 82, and they're in every Friday night without fail, and they all walk, they don't bring a car.
We'll all be dancing and singing and... Yeah.
In my youth, perhaps.
Right, I think as panel we heard enough. As the applicants, of course the objectors, aren't here to sum up, do you feel you've had a fair hearing? Would you like to sum up the process? And if not?
Well, yeah, just a couple of quick points. Like I say, we've got sort of we've never had any major trouble in the club, we've had 5 little arguments about things, then people got barred for causing trouble, basically. It's funny that when I checked the members and who they are, there's 5 of them, and we seem to have 5 letters, you know what I mean? So whether they've got an axe to grind, which more than likely I think they have, but like I say, year in and year out, it's been a successful club, and as you can say, it's been going 100 and odd years.
I just want to point to this. I've got the plans here in front of me before we close this.
Yeah.
And that outside of the, looking from the club, the former, I presume it was a steward's house.
Yeah.
Behind there's a gap where the beer garden is with the property, the other side of the former clubhouse.
Who's been building a drive for 5 years.
Right, I just wonder whether it will be wise if there were a fence there. That would separate the garden of the property from the club property and retain any noise, if you like, that will come from having a large...
Well, actually, there's a fence, where the derelict house is,
Yeah.
there's a fence that runs from...
There's a wall, isn't
no, the gable end's there, and then from the gable end to the bottom of the garden, there's a 4-foot picket fence. Yeah, that's a point.
Keep
Well,
the noise in, if you know what I mean.
The
And
person in question, who lives in the house opposite, owns that derelict building. And part of the thing was, she was supposed to do something with it, or demolish it, for the land, or whatever. 10 years ago.
They bought it in 2012, because that was the second...
Yeah, it was signed off in 2013.
Passed in 2015 for it to be a garage. We put a clause in, it's only to be a garage, not a dwelling, because of this, as you can see why we're here today, people buy them, there's a club there, we'll buy a house, but we don't want the noise from the club. So to counteract that, we put that in. Yeah, we put it's in the deed, we wrote it into
Yeah,
the
it
deed.
used to be-
It can only be used as a garage for the term of clubs up there.
Yeah.
That concludes.
Yeah.
Could I ask you to step outside, please, while we come to a decision? Thank you. We are now live again, because as you realise, this is a public meeting and you can get streamed online. After giving due consideration to your application, the panel has decided, and I will read the script out, which we've done while you're out there. At today's hearing, the panel considered both verbally and in writing information which outlined an application for the full variation of a club premises licence, Drub Lane, Working Men's Club, 104 Drub Lane, Cleckheaton, BD19, 4BU. In reaching its decision, the panel has due regard to the provisions of the Licensing Act 2003, the statutory guidance issued under Section 182 of the Act, the Council's Statement of Licensing Policy, and the relevant provisions of the Human Rights Act. The panel also considered the representations received, which stated that the licensing objectives in respect of the prevention of public nuisance, public safety, the prevention of crime and disorder would not be achieved if the licence was granted. Therefore, in respect of the aforementioned application, the panel has decided that the application be granted as applied for. Saturday 12 till 24 and Sunday 12 till 23. The reasons for the panel's decisions are: the panel has considered the representations made by the objectors and the response given to each objection by the applicant. The panel has taken into account the lack of incidents and length of time the club has been in operation and the recent successful temporary events notices events. There has not been any representation received from responsible authorities. Therefore, the panel determined that the application for a full variation would be consistent with the licensing objectives. Thank you. That's the hearing over. Your application has been granted. And though, before I do close the meeting, we just touched on the fence, and if you would, we're not making a condition, but for your own protection, maybe it would be advisable for you to consider it at the very least. Okay. Thank you. Meeting closed.